Bitcoiners. I hope you're doing great. I hope you're loving your life. I'm loving my life. Things are going awesome. Quentin, good morning. Awesome, man. Matt, good morning, team. B for victory. Beaumatin, good morning, Bitcoiners. Christine, welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning. Thomas, coffee and the count. Perfect way to start the day. We love it. Tommy, good morning. Another Tom. Tom, good morning. Time to break it up. We're going to be breaking up. Assalamu alaikum, fellow Bitcoiners. School for brainwashing kids and cable media for the adults. But in between, the faint orange brick road. We're there. We're there. We're going to be talking all about brainwashing today. Legacy media's legacy of brain damage. That's what we got. Coffee, sun, indeed. I will confirm it in 1 second. Kevin, hello from Pennsylvania. We love it. I'm a fan of Pennsylvania. I have fond memories. I drove through Pennsylvania once. The Poconos and all that stuff from New York to where I am now for Christmas a couple of years ago with my kids in tow. Nice drive, nice place, beautiful pictures. Good morning, ready to Bitcoin. Indeed, Defina. Hoddle T. Washington. Hope you're doing great. Good morning, Bitcoiners. Breakup Bitcoiners. We are our own subcategory. Good morning, all. Good morning. Hope no one was too close to that house explosion. Yeah, wasn't that nuts, Hirsch? I'm wondering what's going on there. Virginia? What the hell's happening? What the hell's happening? Let's do it live. Let's do it live. Indeed, we did it live today, but everything's working today, so we don't have to freak out about technology. We're doing better. Although it almost happened. It almost happened. I did, Felipe. We'll be talking about that. That's part of the show. Snowy Minnesota. You know, I'm missing the snow. Morning, Bitcoiners. How you doing, Jevy? Good morning, break up breakfast crew. Bitcoin blessings confirmatory. We love it. Guten Morgen. We love it, guys. Awesome. Huh? Thanks, Kevin. When Nolan, I was around. I had to make a coffee. You know, the coffee was a little slow. That's fine. Things happen. It's a different house. I'm not used to the dynamics. I'm on the 3rd floor in this house. It's not like at the condo in Montreal or in Vermont because it's all just, you know, it's like a ranch. It's all one floor, condo or the house, right? I don't have to move around. Here, where I am here on the 3rd floor is like it's like an attic staircase to get up, so I have to like climb up. It's not even like walk upstairs, so you gotta hold things, but that's fine, right? Once you get up here, you notice from the window on this 3rd floor that the sun is totally up. Sunrise tech optimized. Money tech also running without problems. So let's have a coffee and talk about what's new. Debbie says, come visit Minnesota. Yeah, I will one day. So it's the only part of what's called the Canadian Shield. If you guys are not big geography folks, I love my geography. And, you know, I'm in the Appalachian Mountains. That's where I was born. That's where I was raised. I know you Southerners call it Appalachia or something crazy. We just call it Appalachian where we're from. Once you get a certain, you ever hear that? This is really funny too. We'll talk about the Canadian Shield again. You ever hear that thing about Yankees? So to the whole world, you know, Yankees are just Americans, but then to Americans, Yankees are just Northerners. And then to Northerners, Yankees are just Northeasterners, right? And then once you're in the Northeast, Yankees are just New Englanders, right? And then once you're in New England, Yankees become just people who eat apple pie with cheese in Vermont. That's what a Yankee is to us in Vermont, right? People who eat apple pie with cheese. So this Yankee thing went viral. It really just means like a small subsection of the people I'm from. Anyway, Appalachia, all that stuff, right? I'm from the Appalachians, but I'm not far, and where I am now, I'm in the Great Lakes area, but just north of me is something called the Canadian Shield, which is the zero topsoil land of Canada. All the topsoil was scraped off by the glaciers. And so when you're north of the St. Lawrence River and the Great Lakes, and New York State. So that little piece of New York is not Appalachian Mountains. They're also the Canadian Shield, Whiteface, and a few other nice ski hills. But so the point is, I've been to every part of the Canadian Shield except Minnesota. It dips down into the United States. So I've been all over it except Minnesota. So I got to make it there. And I watched all those Fargo shows and movies and stuff like that. So it's basically Canada. Less stupid, maybe. I don't know. It'd be a competition, but it's kind of Canadian-y, but which we like, right? We don't hate Canada. We're from Canada. How could we hate it? We just acknowledge there's a lot of stupid people here, right? A lot of people with our theme today with brain damage, right? So before we get to the brain damage, let's just do a little Moscow time, right? We got to get into the mood here, right? We got to pick up our fakest news that we could find today, right? What's the fakest news we could find? Well, it starts in North Korea. So the leader of North Korea. So by the way, I've lived in Korea several times, and I follow Korean news very, very closely. And the North Korean leader said, things are changing there. She says that North Korea will not be intimidated by a country that cannot tell men from women. So keep that she said that yesterday, okay? In unrelated news, yesterday in Dallas, this is a headline from ABC News. Police in Dallas have issued an arrest warrant for Buffalo Bills linebacker Von Miller for allegedly assaulting a pregnant person. It would sound worse if it was a woman, but she's a pregnant person. So there you go. We don't like the violence. We're not laughing at violence. We're not laughing at violence at all. We're laughing at ABC's headline and how it confirmed North Korean propaganda. But it gets better. The Washington Post published this yesterday. News outlets turn to Reddit. Reddit, as Musk's X descends into chaos. Bitcoiners, didn't we all do that? Weren't we all on Reddit yesterday? We're all in Reddit. What's going on in Reddit? But with thousands of subreddits, where exactly news sites should promote their work presents a dilemma. Luckily, we know who wrote this article, and just in case you were wondering, right? The head of Reddit. Oh, sorry, not who wrote the article, but here's what we got on this person who's in charge of censorship at Reddit, right? Mike Benz let us know who she is. Her name is Jessica Ashu. And she's the director of policy at Reddit, and she's also from the Atlantic Council. She has a little bit of experience with the CIA, right? No kidding. I didn't believe it. So now remember, we have this other subcategory of the fake news about Trump being a dictator. We've been doing it all week. It was our theme, right? The talking points went out last week. Trump is a dictator, democracy's threatened. So we expected a whole bunch of talking points being distributed because we've seen the pattern many times. That's what Moscow Times all about, right? So let's lean into the headlines that we gathered from yesterday. Lizard Cheney warns democracy is at stake if Trump is reelected, right? So Dick Cheney, the most credible person I know, Dick Cheney's daughter. So good. She also said that U.S. is sleepwalking into a dictatorship with Trump as the GOP frontrunner. We also got this one. If Trump wins. This is from, I think, The Atlantic, maybe? The staff of The Atlantic on the threat a second term poses to American democracy. Another one here. This is from the New York Times. Why a second Trump presidency may be more radical than his first. Donald Trump has long exhibited authoritarian impulses, but his policy operation is now more sophisticated and the buffers to check him are weaker. Of course, The Atlantic and Jake Tapper did a whole session yesterday, 15 minutes on what would go on with Trump in another term. We talked about the Kagan one yesterday in the Washington Post, right? That was Victoria Nuland's husband, her husband, who just by chance, right? Victoria Nuland, who some people say is a warmonger, right? I don't have any proof that Victoria Nuland's a warmonger, except all the quotes and everything that people tell me. And it's just a normal coincidence that her husband is an editor with the Washington Post.